The Inter-American Development Bank presented a timely piece of literature called The Nurturing Institutions for a More Resilient Caribbean to the president of the University of the Bahamas during a soft launch and lecture at the I.D.B's head office this morning. Two economists were the editors, while officials from the I.D.B conducted the research to pen the historic book that many Bahamians say is a must-read. Minister of Finance and Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Peter Turnquist, says the book is well-written, thought-provoking, and interesting, and says he can't wait to see how it affects the future policy as the government seeks to make life better for all Bahamians.
It gives a very good history of how we have arrived at the point that we are at and the vulnerabilities that have arisen as a result of that history. And it concludes with some suggestions as to how we ought to go forward. So from my perspective, I'm looking forward to getting into the details of it. It is an easy read, which surprised me.
That's what I said.
It is in fact an easy read, and it's interesting. Not only again from the economic side of it, but from the whole sort of historical developments of these Caribbean countries.
I.D.B Representative Daniela Cadera Marquise and President of the University of the Bahamas, Dr. Rodney Smith, talked about the significance of the book and what it all means for the Bahamas.
Nurturing Institutions for a Resilient Caribbean is a great book, I have to admit it. I was a little bit hesitant. It's a lengthy, thick book, but it's really worth a read. And I will invite you all to download it or take a copy. Whatever is your preference in reading it, is an extremely interesting book, both in the way it places not only the Bahamas, but all of the other Caribbean countries.
A lot of the countries within the Caribbean in particular, or even around the world, English-speaking Caribbean or English-speaking countries, have a tendency to do what the other country did. So if a country became independent or self-governing first, then the countries that came afterward tended to do the same thing. So we had a sustainability of the status quo for many, many, many years. And this kind of study helps us to jump away from that.